Hi everyone, so welcome to the channel, and this video is about Nifty. So we'll do some deep analysis of Nifty, and this video is going to be very lengthy. So अगर आप इसको rush में देख रहे हो तो I would suggest कि मत देखो, just skip it right now. So we have seen a nice fall in Nifty this week, although I was not expecting this, so I missed this one. So we'll cover everything कि क्यों ये चीज़ मुझसे मिस हो गई, कहाँ पे मुझसे भी गलती हो गई. एंड इट हैपेंस कि मार्केट है, यू कांट प्रेडिक्ट एवरी मूव इन द मार्केट, बट all these things are the learning for us, so we need to journal everything and understand what we have missed and where we went wrong. So if you just look back in Nifty when the market was trading at this point, around 23,200, and everyone was in panic because of the peace deal was not actually happening, and the market was moving on a downside and trading in a particular range. So at this point I've said that they do not try to short the market because we are in a discount price, right? So all the institutions were buying at this point, so that's why I said look for buying opportunities only. And after a few days you can see we just got this nice up move with this rally and a gap up move, and we have captured this one. And after this, when the market took this pullback, even at that point I said don't short the market from these OTE zones. Market will hunt this liquidity. After taking out this liquidity, we will look for the short. So from here also we went long. So the target was basically this high overall, and after taking out this high just went down again. Up and down momentum was happening. So on this up move I exited all my longs, and here I said we will short the market for this low 23,784 and for this imbalances over here. So उसके बाद मार्केट एक डाउन साइड पर मूव दिया, बट एट दिस पॉइंट ये लो लिए बिना ही मार्केट ने क्या किया, एक रिट्रेसमेंट दे दिया ऊपर की तरफ. सो आई वाज अज्यूमिंग कि मार्केट ने ऑलरेडी ये लिक्विडिटी ली है, सो इट विल फॉल फ्रॉम हियर. सो एट दिस पॉइंट वी प्लान टू शॉर्ट द मार्केट, and next day the market opened gap up. I was still holding my shorts and I said do not chase this up move, and after 2 or 3 days you can see we just fall very badly. though ये 2 3 4 दिन में जो ये अप मूव आया था, जस्ट 2 दिन में ही पूरा का पूरा डाउन मूव ने उसको वाइप आउट कर दिया. बट अगेन एट दिस पॉइंट मार्केट जस्ट टुक दिस इंटरनल लो, और ये जो लो था इंटैक्ट था एंड क्रिएटेड अ रिलेटिवली इक्वल लो ओवर हियर. सो दिस वाज अ liquidity pool. So when the market took this retracement on a higher side, so we plan again to short the market from these ranges. और मार्केट इसी एक रेंज में था, तो आई वाज एक्सपेक्टिंग कि मे बी इट विल टेक सम टाइम एंड इट विल शूट डाउन साइड, एंड आफ्टर टेकिंग आउट दिस लो एंड इम्बैलेंस वी विल लुक फॉर लॉन्ग फॉर दिस हाई, राइट? So without taking these low, market was moving on a higher side. That's why यहाँ पे हमने सारे शॉर्ट्स एग्जिट किए थे on Thursday, और यहाँ से मैंने लॉन्ग किया था, and next day we just capture this up move. Now the target was this liquidity and the consequent encroachment of this imbalance, and it actually hit around 24,329 was the target, and it beautifully hit the target on that day. Now after this retracement I assume that the market will not take a deep retracement. It will move for this liquidity, and after taking out this liquidity we will come down for this liquidity. So this trade was purely news based. I went long for the target of this, and the next day it opened gap down, so वहाँ पे stop loss hit हुआ, and the very next day from this point to this high we captured intraday targets. Next day again we tried, but market sluggish था, expiry एकदम sideways हो गई. So I carry forward the long thinking the market will move on to this high, but next day again we open gap down, और यहाँ पे stop loss hit हो गया मेरा. And on this day we were planning to go long because market has taken out these liquidity, but यहाँ पे कोई setup बना नहीं था, so ये trade रह गया. And the very next day it again went down, और यहाँ पे मैंने कोशिश की थी एक लॉन्ग का ट्रेड प्लान करने के लिए फॉर द टारगेट ऑफ दीज हाई, बट उस दिन यहाँ पे भी स्टॉप लॉस हो गया. सो बैक टू बैक 1 2 and 3 डे स्टॉप लॉस हिट होगा, यहाँ पे भी 4 डे. तो ऑल दिस वीक मेरे सारे स्टॉप लॉस हिट हुए इंट्राडे ट्रेड्स में. and that's okay. Sometimes it happens, you don't have to worry about the stop losses because एक दो ट्रेड में सारे losses cover हो जाएंगे. And at this point and even at this point, so यहाँ से मुझे ऐसा लग रहा था maybe it will do the same thing again without taking this low. It will move on a higher side and then it will come down for this liquidity. So यहाँ पे मुझे एक डाउट था, that's why मैंने positional long ऐड किया on Thursday, yesterday I mean. और आज मार्केट जब ओपन होके ये लेवल पे आया था, इवन आई मेंशन दैट कि अगर मार्केट 23,784 की लिक्विडिटी लेता है और नीचे के लेवल्स पे मिलेगा, मैं पोजिशनली लॉन्ग ऐड करूँगा. बिकॉज वंस यू मूव एनी मोमेंटम इन द मार्केट सच लाइक दिस, उसमें it's better not to chase that move and you have to look where is the potential level जहाँ से market reverse कर सकता है. So earlier I was considering this as a dealing range, so I was considering this as a equilibrium. Then market went into the OT below this liquidity, that's why ये दो जगह पे मैं reversal expect कर रहा था. So it failed. Next, now we have this high to this high, so market is respecting this dealing range and this was the equilibrium एंड दिस इज़ दी OT जोन. एक और डिप भी आएगा, डजेंट मैटर, यहाँ से फिर हम लोग ऐड करेंगे. नहीं अगर आता है, क्योंकि मार्केट ने यहाँ OT को टैप करके वापस इक्विलिब्रियम के आसपास ही आके क्लोज कर दिया विच वॉज एक्सपेक्टेड. सो अगर एक और डिप आता है, आई विल अगेन लुक टू ऐड द पोजिशनल लॉन्ग बिकॉज फ्रॉम हियर the market will target all this buy side liquidity you see over here, all this liquidity, because at this point when the market took out this high, what mistake I did, I failed to notice this liquidity pool on the lower side. All these were the liquidity pool for the market after taking out this high. So I was in that assumption that the market would first take this high and then hunt all this liquidity, but next day जब market ने drop हुआ, यहाँ पे एक structure shift हुआ and it started drifting downside. But if you just look at this move, it was very quick and fast. So यहाँ पे ज़्यादा hurdle नहीं है. All these are the thin liquidity for the market. So this will be act as a low resistance liquidity run. When the market will start hunting all this buy side, the momentum will be quick and it will, because यहाँ पे जो trap हुआ, see, market was trading inside this range. If you see, there was a failure of auction over here, market went up, so buyers didn't agree at this price, market again came down into this zone. Again मार्केट में क्या हो गया, यहाँ पे ऑक्शन फेलियर हुआ, वेंट डाउन, सेलर्स डिडंट एक्सपेक्टेड दिस लो एंड बायर स्टार्टेड बाइंग दिस. तो अभी क्या हो रहा है प्राइस में, पहले बाय स्टॉप्स हंट हुए, अभी सेल स्टॉप्स हंट हुए. मैंने हमेशा बोला है जो भी साइड मार्केट को मूव करना है, पहले उस तरफ की लिक्विडिटी मार्केट हंट करता है. नाउ दिस इज़ नॉट समथिंग लाइक अ पैटर्न, दिस इज़ हाउ द प्राइस डिलीवर इन द मार्केट, दिस इज़ हाउ द बिग इंस्टीट्यूशन हेज. तो उसलिए वो सारी पोजीशंस बनती है. फर्स्ट दे ट्रैप द बायर्स, देन दे ट्रैप द सेलर्स एंड देन द रियल मूव कम्स. सो from here I'm expecting a very huge rally on the higher side. The market is not going to fall more from here. More or less it will just give another small dip or a retracement back into this zone or to this liquidity max to max, or else I am assuming that from next week we will see a nice up move which will hunt all this liquidity, the internal range of liquidity and this external range. So right now we have this external range high and we had this, so made a new low, so this is external range high. In between this high and this low we have all this liquidity pool which has the internal range liquidity. So market will hunt all this liquidity and the imbalances over here, right? So we'll just zoom into this area and try to understand what the market can do next. So you can see we have a swing high over here, went down, now price is moving towards this, even we have this internal swing high. If you want to take that risk, if you are aggressive buyer, market में पुल बैक लेने के बाद यहाँ पे डिस्प्लेसमेंट के साथ ये शॉर्ट टर्म हाई ब्रेक होता है और बिफोर टेकिंग दिस हाई यहाँ पे एक पुल बैक में यहाँ के डिस्प्लेसमेंट से एंट्री मिलेंगी, यू कैन गो लॉन्ग. सेकेंडली वी हैव दिस शॉर्ट टर्म हाई, मार्केट डायरेक्टली इसी को अगर हंट करता है फिर पुल बैक लेता है, यू कैन गो हाई. So positionally I've added some positions of long over here, और कुछ मैंने positions यहाँ ऐड की. मेरा average somewhere around here है. And one thing, the market is not going to be very simple like this. It might go above and come down, and it will trade in this range, and then it will break above, then it will come in this range, hunt this liquidities, and then it will move, right? This is one possibility. Second, as I said, if this is a low resistance liquidity run, and if we see any kind of positive news coming in from any front, like war front or any side, then the market will open gap up and continue like for this 24,600. So there is very low chances that market will fail to move on a higher side and it will continue on a downside. Either it will consolidate in this range and then break above, then pull back and then break continuation, or it will directly open gap up, pull back and again gap up, and it will cover all this liquidity. Because जितने लोगों ने ये डाउन, देखो, अंडरस्टैंड वन थिंग, मार्केट जब इस तरह से मूव करता है ना, उसमें कोई भी फोमो में आके एंटर नहीं करता, क्योंकि दे हैव द चांस कि पुल बैक पे एंट्री मिल रही है. द मोमेंट मार्केट शोज दिस सडन ड्रॉप, ठीक है, यहाँ पे ड्रॉप हुआ, बहुत से लोग फोमो में एंटर हुए, तो मार्केट में फिर एक रेंज बाउंड हो गया, ठीक है. उसके बाद एक अपसाइड का ब्रेकआउट आया. सो जितने लोग पुट में बैठे सबका प्रीमियम डीके हुआ, सबका लॉस एग्जिट हुआ, एंड देन मार्केट वेंट डाउन, राइट. अगेन वी ऑल्सो बुक लॉसेस समवेयर एयर, जहाँ पे मैंने शॉर्ट एग्जिट किया, यहाँ मैंने लॉस बुक किया है, ठीक है. नाउ अगेन मार्केट इज फॉलिंग डाउन साइड. If you just go on a daily time frame, you will see down candles over here. All this down candle will turn into a bullish order block when the market started moving on a higher side above this one, right? So अभी हम लोगों को ऐसा लगता है the market is showing so much of negativity, and we fail to see that market is actually trapping and all the sell side liquidity is getting hunt. And the moment market breaks above this, then we realize, oh, this is the bullish order block, the last down candles or selling candle, and the market trade into that, continue, right? So try to analyze the market, try to understand the real intent of the market. So don't look for the trades, look for the intention of the market, what the market is trying to do. So here we see that we had the low over here and we had the high over here. First the market took out the lows, then the market took out the highs, and then it started moving downside. Again it failed to take this low, so there was a liquidity. So you can clearly see यहाँ पे पहले liquidity built हुई, hunt हुई, यहाँ liquidity built हुई, hunt हो गई, ठीक है. Again you can see यहाँ पे liquidity जितनी built हुई थी hunt हो गई, right. यहाँ जितनी liquidity built हुई थी यहाँ पे hunt हो गई. Now the next liquidity pool was this, it got hunted. अभी उसके बाद कौन सी liquidity है हमारे पास? All this buy side liquidity, and now the market will hunt this liquidity. So when you say that कि जब भी मैं buy करता हूँ मार्केट सेल की तरफ जाता है, मैं सेल करता हूँ मार्केट बाय की तरफ जाता है, बिकॉज यू आर चेजिंग द प्राइस. आई हैव क्लियरली मेंशन द टेलीग्राम दैट if you miss this one, personally I did, I am not chasing this down movement after missing this, क्योंकि मुझे अगर पहले रियलाइज़ होता that market is using this as a dealing range और यहाँ के OT से फॉल करने वाला है, मैं यहाँ से सेल करके पूरा यहाँ तक का होल्ड करता मार्केट में, ठीक है. बट इफ़ यू मिस दिस वन, आई कैन क्लियरली सी दैट कि मैंने यहाँ तक रियलाइज़ नहीं किया दैट मार्केट इज़ गोइंग फॉर दिस लिक्विडिटी, एंड एट दिस डे आई रियलाइज दैट मार्केट विल टेक दिस लिक्विडिटी एंड आई एड मोर लॉन्ग्स ओवर देयर. सो यू हैव टू प्लान योर ट्रेड बिफोर दैट मूव इज़ कमिंग, ठीक है. अब नाउ द मूव इज़ ऑन द हायर साइड, नाउ वी हैव टू प्लान द ट्रेड फॉर दिस अप मूव, नॉट दिस डाउन मूव जो ऑलरेडी हो गया है मार्केट में. Understanding my point? So I've lost lot of money in learning this, understanding this on my own after analyzing the market for so many years. And the only thing I have understand in all this year is, if you will chase the price, if you will try to trade the market, then you will never able to understand the real intention. If you just look the market what it's trying to do, then you will understand the real face of the market कि market actually किस direction में move करना चाहता है. So this down move is over. Don't cry over this. If you have captured this one, all the best, very good, you did a best job, क्योंकि ये perfect trade था अगर आपने capture किया. अगर आपने miss किया, don't cry over it. Market will give you another opportunity. This is the opportunity, right? This is not the time to fear and think that the market is falling, so we should enter in the sell side. Don't think that, right? If the market breaks, because understand one thing, मैंने अपने मास्टर क्लास में बताया, जब भी प्राइस अपनी डीलिंग रेंज के 25% पे और 50% पे रुकता है, दैट मीन्स द प्राइस इज गोइंग टू रिवर्स फ्रॉम द OT. सो in this case 25% है ये, this is the 50% and this is the OT of the dealing range from the bottom to this high we have marked. So you can clearly see on the 25% market was trading for a quite longer time, so it is taking a support. Now this down move with an impulse. So again I'm telling you, you don't have to trust that the market is going to move on a higher side or on a downside. Just think it like this कि market में एक downside का move आया and it has taken this liquidity. The same way it has taken this liquidity has been taken out. Even if the market wants to fall, it has to move into the premium zone of this high and this low, right? So if you mark this high and this low, the market will definitely reach to the equilibrium. But at this point, do not look to sell the market, because already we are into the discount zone of this dealing range. So even if the market wants to move down, it will take a retracement, it will again trap all the sellers, it move back, then from here either it will fall down or it will continue on a higher side. According to me, it has to continue on a higher side for this liquidity, which is around 24,500, and it's going to be very quick and very fast. Trust me this. Within 2-3 sessions we will hit this 23,500 if the momentum continues like this. Now moving on a higher time frame, if we just go on a weekly time frame, we can see that market में ये एक वॉल्यूम इम्बैलेंस था विच आई हैव मार्क प्रीवियसली, एंड यू कैन क्लियरली सी कोई भी कैंडल इसके अंदर क्लोज नहीं हुई थी, एंड दिस वाज द रीज़न व्हाई आई वाज एक्सपेक्टिंग अ बुलिश मूव, बट नाउ इट फेल्ड. We just went through and through. So this gap was filled. Even you see this gap over here, we traded into this. Now this gap is already tapped in, and this was the down candle. You see the last down candle before this up move. So this is the weekly time frame order block. We tap into this. Now market will move for this high, and we clearly have all this equal highs over here. You can see this high, right? And lot of imbalance pending on a weekly time frame over the higher side. On a daily time frame, we had this fall over here, right? Pullback, and we went below this low, and then we took out this high. So there was a structure shift. We take a pullback, again went high to for this liquidity, and in between on a daily time frame we created all this liquidity pool, and the market went below to hunt all this liquidity and tap into this imbalance over here. You see all these gaps, and we went into this, and now market will continue on a higher side even if we check the daily time frame price action. So target will be these high over here, which is around 24,500 and 24,600, which I've already marked. And you have all these imbalances on a higher side which will filled by the market, right? So I hope you understood why I am bullish in the market at this point, and with just one mistake I miss all this down move and book 3 to 4 stop losses in the intraday trade, and that's a part of trading. You can't just trade every day and book profit every day. There will be a time you have to book the losses, but all these losses were very small. This one trade can cover all the losses, right? Even here we went long, market went up, then hit our stop losses, we exited. But at this point यहाँ से लॉन्ग किया था, and with this up move यहाँ जो लॉस हुआ था वो पूरा रिकवर हो गया. Even this up move we capture, this down move we have captured, even this up move we have captured. So there are times when we book profit, there are times we book losses. So losses are very small, they are minimum, and the profit are the maximum. This is how you sustain in the market. You just can't fight with the market right now, so you have to understand how you have to trade and how when you have to book the losses. So this was it for the day and for the Nifty. So I assume that coming week is going to be very good for us in the market. Then we'll book a lot of money and we'll make a lot of money in the market. And along with that, we are also learning a lot of things. So this is it for today. See you in the market. Till then, stay safe, be happy. Thank you.